My name is Pat McNamara. I work for my own company called T-Max Inc. I grew up in Connecticut and was driven to go into the military. I wanted to do something bigger than myself, so I joined when I was 18, and that was in 1983. At the time, I was very fortunate. The Army was offering the 18 X-ray or Special Forces Baby program, so that's what I signed up for. I got hurt prior to that in jump school. I was a toed jumper. It pulled my bicep down into my forearm. I broke ribs, concussion, dislocated shoulder, which made it a little more challenging going through the SF course because it was physically challenging. For instance, if in order for one to receive a hot A during first phase, you had to climb the rope and do 10 pull-ups with your kit on. And with one bicep, that was a little challenging. So I went hungry for a while. After the Special Forces course, I went up to First Group in Fort Lewis, Washington. And I was assigned to an A team there. I spent about 3 years there, was able to complete another Special Forces MOS, 18 Echo communicator, and go through both Halo and Scuba School. I was recruited from there for another unit that it was kind of riddled with ambiguity. I knew nothing about it. It was a Cold War job working out of Berlin. And it was, in a nutshell, we were setting up networks for double agents out of Berlin. It was interesting in that we had, good cover for action, cover for status. We were active in the community. From there, I found myself into another unit working out of Soviet East Germany, and that was spying on the Soviet Army. Real good job, and I was extremely fortunate to have been a part of that whole Cold War era. Once the Cold War dried up and the wall came down, I tried out for the unit selection and finished off my career 13 years at the unit at Fort Bragg. I started there in about 1991 and retired in 2005. Directly after I retired, I landed a job with a corporation. Part of that corporation's job was to build the Asymmetrical Warfare Group, AWG. So I was in charge of the training for the AWG. I built a course called CATC, Combat Application Training Course, and we would train the Army in hopes to change as best we can the existing culture that the Army had. After I spent 5 years working with the AWG, I developed my own company, T-Max. It's an acronym, Tactics, Marksmanship, Adventure, Concepts, Security, and have been running with T-Max ever since 2010. The biggest reason I stuck with the training side of the house and I train folks with my T-Max corporation is because I love teaching. It's something that I feel like I was born to do, and something that I think that I'm pretty good at. In addition, I've got vested interest. There's certain guys, I want them to be stronger, more effective, because I need them to be stronger and more effective. I like to be able to feel that I am contributing to the effectiveness of the machine. The way I see it, days of yore to now, especially directly after I retired, combat arms guys, especially 2005 and a few years after that, they've got a different mindset. They're maybe the next best generation, because when they came in, in 02, 03, etc., I mean, they came in for a reason. They are driven in a different way. They have broken those bonds of institutional inbreeding. They are more likely to seek training from outside sources, and I love being a part of that. I love contributing to the honing of their edge. So I have a system called CST, or Combat Strength Training, And some of it I bring to the range, especially in their $10 words, but proprioception and kinesthetic sense. Basically awareness of your body in space, awareness of your feet under your body. Because a lot of guys are in flat range mindset. They're stationary on a range, doing up drills, that kind of thing. We need more kinetics on the range, you know, more lateral move, more front and back movement. There's a lot of that in my CST program, a lot of proprioception type of drills. The CST program is another performance-based program versus the outcome. So it's a physical training program, but all performance-based, because we understand that performance is measured by doing what we can with what we have. We've come a long way in the past couple decades with the ability to stay healthy and work out correctly. But there's too many of us, especially military and law enforcement, who are still stuck in that sagittalistic mindset. Everything is this way and that way, and dudes are still working to build beach muscles. You know, there comes a time when we need to think about self-preservation, longevity, stronger, longer, and we need to be safer when we work out and perform more functional type of exercises, especially in the transverse plane of motion. You know, there's 3 planes of motion. We've got frontal, sagittal, and transverse, and that's where all work takes place, especially in the tactical side of the house. So the CST program really concentrates on that, because we need that on the range as well. That good, not only proprioception and kinesthetic sense, but good transverse plane of motion. You know, whether it's bashing somebody or pulling somebody out of a car or turning sharply, jumping over a wall, those things are real important, and they're neglected. They're typically neglected in an average day's workout. Another thing that CST program is all about is saving your life, saving somebody else's life, or kicking somebody's ass. What I'm hoping to do is stay as relevant and as skilled for as long as possible, so that I can keep contributing to the bigger picture. The guys who are protecting me and my kids are capable and at the cutting edge.